guys, and welcome to the Kim Wright YouTube channel. In today's challenge we have strange dreams or goals that I've had throughout the years. I say strange goals, some of them are quite reasonable goals, but over time, one reason or another, to me they seem strange that I would have them. This could also be because my mental health took over, so a lot of negativity that I have is due to my mental health. The first one, and this was a big one, shortly after I managed to get over one of my dreams, which I'm not going to reveal because I'm ashamed of it, I actually had another dream in life, and that was to be a vet. I loved animals. I was fascinated by animals. I used to collect all the facts about animals. One of my collections was a collection of animal information, and for obvious reasons I collect stuffed animals. So I really wanted to be a vet or work in the animal industry, either a zoo or a nature reserve, or be able to be part of studying animal behaviour. This also kind of affected into my acting in a way, because I kind of tried to learn the mannerisms of animals so I could interpret and put them in my acting in a kind of fluorescent way. It sounds weird. I know it doesn't sound that much strange because everyone has a dream in their life, but I think the way that I worked onto that dream kind of shows how strange it was, because I never got the grades I needed to become a vet. If possible, I'd quite like to work in that industry still, but I think I need to go back to college to do it, and I don't have the money to go to college, so it's a dream that's currently on hold. But I still love animals, and I would love to one day be able to work in a dog shelter maybe, or work in that kind of industry. Linked to that is a second dream and goal that I had. This one has also been put on hold for financial reasons, but I'd quite like to have this as a retirement plan, which is I'd quite like to open a dog shelter. Part of the dog shelter idea is, particularly with the uniqueness of it, kind of came up when the list of dangerous dogs included things like pit bulls and staffies. I can understand the dangers that some of these dogs can have, but the problem I had with it was because these dogs would be categorised under the Dangerous Dog Acts. A lot of these dogs who just suffered neglect or had a slim chance of being rehomed or just having a decent life before they passed away would often be put in the rescue shelters or be put down straight as they were being put in the animal shelters. And it just felt wrong. It felt, just because these dogs are categorised under the dangerous dog, a lot of them didn't have the characteristics of a dangerous animal. It was just the fact that they were under the Dangerous Dog Act. And I'd quite like to open a dog shelter specifically aimed at these dogs, so they can either have the best life that they have of their last lives, or be able to retrain them to give them the prospect and the possibility of being rehomed again. There's a high possibility that my dog shelter might just be, a whole collection of dogs where they live to the end of their days. But in all honesty, that I'd rather have that than have them being put down because they are under the Dangerous Dogs Act. Obviously, if there is no chance of these dogs being rehomed, or their aggression is way too much, then I would have to rethink it. One idea I have is to, when I set it up, try and see if I can partner with RSPCA or Dogs Trust or certain dogs charities, so they can have more space to look after other animals, and be able to help more animals in need, but not be have to say no to rescuing animals because they have no space. And part of this space is the fact that the dangerous dogs are less likely to be adopted. So to give them a home where they can either live to the end of their days or allow them to see that they're not as violent as people believe them would be, to me, a genuine goal and a genuine dream. There are a few things that I would need to do. Number one, I would need to buy a big enough land to host a lot of these dogs. And also, I probably would need to investigate a little more whether this kind of thing is doable, whether law-wise it's doable as well, because it might not be. It might be ends that justify the means. I have spoken to several people who said that they would support me if I did go ahead with the idea. But at the moment, I'm not in a financial stability to say, okay, we'll buy this land and we'll do this, that, and the other. Like I said, it's probably a retirement plan or an ideology later in my years if things improve. Going on to strange dreams that I have had over time, certainly after I married my husband. This actually became part of an idea I had for a story, which is still in development. I have to change the name, though, because originally the name was Beowulf, but I understand now that there is actually a film and book called Beowulf, so I might have to think of a better name for it. Beowulf, I'll keep using Beowulf because I liked it, is a half-wolf, half-bear pup who grows up knowing that he is different. The ideology was that every time my husband and I joke about what animal we would be, he's a cuddly teddy bear and I'm a wolf because I'm a little bit cunning and I'm incredibly fast. And I often joke that our child is going to be a combination of the two, hence the ideology of Beowulf. In the stories that I've told, that I've come up with every time I sit down to write the Beowulf story, he has He has a sister and a brother. The brother is a bear and the sister is a wolf, and he's the only one that's got the combination of the two. In all of them, the brother and sister has been very supportive, jealous on more than one occasion, but supportive of their younger brother. And over time, I've also developed the idea of a second brother, but from a different marriage. So he is pure bear, and his reaction when he meets his family. It's been an ongoing project based on a dream that I had while I was on my honeymoon. So I dreamed that I was a wolf running around the field, protecting my son. And my husband, the bear, would come in on occasion to look after us and protect us. But I'm pretty much of a fighter myself. If in the future this develops and it actually becomes a story, I'd love it to be. Like I said, I'd have to change the title and do more research on the kind of decisions, titles-wise, that I can choose. But it will depend on motivation again, which always is a problem when it comes to me. But I will do my best on this one. This one, it makes me laugh when I think about it. It's so bizarre, but I think it's a story that could work. And it's a story that mainly picks on the idea of identity, which I think is a very good direction to go, particularly with people's identities always becoming new straight. Another dream that I've worked with corporations all my life, and I've done manual labour my whole life, but as you can tell by the channel, my passion is craft. I'd love to be able to, I have a sewing machine, so I'd quite like to create my own cross-stitch clothing and my cosplay clothing, and I'd quite like to get to the point in my cross-stitching where I can design and make my own designs so I can sell them. Certainly with diamond art as well, that would be a cool thing to do. And certainly passion-wise, it would be quite nice to have a job where I can wake up and go, okay, well, today I'm going to be creative, I'm going to do this. As you can probably tell, motivation has been the main boundary I've had throughout the years. I have plenty of ideas which I put on paper all the time. I have notebooks stacked high that have idea after idea. That just gets forgotten the second it's written. The Dream Jar ideas were originally designed as a business. But in the process of me trying to work out what the business would be, I didn't so much as lose interest, but I lost the motivation to keep doing it. Which is odd, because I lost the motivation during lockdown. Now, part of that motivation lack is the fact that I'm always tired. And during lockdown, whereas everyone else was under lockdown in their homes, I was working. I was an essential worker. So I struggled to find the time to do stuff I wanted to do and be able to do the stuff that my work wanted me to do. It became a boundary that is a problem. Sadly, I'm not in a financial state to be able to say, okay, tomorrow I'll quit my job and I'll start a business, because there is no way that I would survive if I quit my job tomorrow. I would be looking in the job centre for another job, because I think I want to be in a bit part of a business where I see some profit coming in first, and enough profit that I can have a stable lifestyle before I would say, okay, job, quit, now we're going to do this. It's part of the reason why I've never been a YouTuber. At the moment, as of me filming this, I have 324 subscribers. If YouTube became profitable, and I mean profitable to the point where it would be comfortable for me to not have a job, then I would quit my job tomorrow. But at this precise stage, YouTube, I'm not making any money from YouTube at all. This is just a passion and a fun piece that I do in my free time. I would love to turn the Dream Jars into a job. I would love to gain enough experience with cross stitch that I can come up with my own designs. But at this particular stage, I'm still on the developmental and trying to get through my main boundary, which is motivation. Once I can get past that, I think I can start really expanding into the ideology of business, or into the ideology of working full-time as a creative person. But until then, I keep trying and following my own passion. Lighting design as well would be a fantastic job to do, but I'm not there yet. If that makes any sense, I'm not in a position where I could say I could work on my own yet, but I hope to one day be able to do it. It's one of my dreams, and I hope to expand. Sticking with the lighting design option, and when I say this, I didn't originally intend, when I started imagining this happening, it being in the lighting stage as such. It wasn't acting either, because although I'm good at acting, I mostly got extra parts. I very rarely got any parts that were part of the main character guidelines, and I think it's mainly because I'm not very good with auditions. I will confess. It's weird, because when I do my Amdram groups, one of the things they keep commenting is that they'd love to see me perform again. It's mainly I don't have the time at this moment to keep attending rehearsals. I did a bit of acting with my hoarding, and that was difficult during Zoom periods, because whereas when I was a lot more younger, I could remember scripts fairly quickly, partly because I didn't have that many lines to learn, so I could learn lines quite quickly, and worryingly I could remember lines quite a lot. One of my favourite lines that I ever did as a child, I did Midsummer Night's Dream for a project with my school and the Globe Theatre. And two lines that I do remember and still stick to remember, but it wasn't the only lines that I had, which shows how bad my memory has got, is I knew it was I, that's me, I warrant it. I knew it was I, for many do call me fool. I can't even remember the character's name. We were playing the Malvolio finds the letter scene, and I was one of the people in the bushes. And the other line, so will I too, which for some reason I kept constantly saying in the squeaky voice, for some weird reason, I don't know why. But it was, it's one of the earlier bits that I played. The first time I did acting was when I was with my school, and we played Bugsy Malone. And apart from Sorry Boss, which I know my character Snake Eyes constantly said, I never really played, I can't really remember that many of the lines that I said in it. My dad would love to hear me sing again. But one of my biggest dreams, even if it was front of house, even if it was, one of my aims is to become a front of house person. If anything, to get my foot in the door for other opportunities. But I would love to do, to be part of a great show in the West End. Whether it's already an existing great show or a great show that appears on the West End. Very similar to how A Play That Goes Wrong happened. It's now one of the greatest shows in the West End, still carrying on. They now do Panto Goes Wrong, Nativity Goes Wrong. They've got their Goes Wrong show. And I would love to be a part of a corporation or a group that would be able to go to the West End and do such an amazing thing. Whether that's a reality or not at the moment, because I'm still in the Amdram stage. My lights are incredibly simple, so it will take a little while to expand, but I hope to be able to get to the stage where I can say, yep, I'm professional enough, I can start doing it. I mean, my brain has quite an unusual sense of humour, and this dream ideology is something that I recurringly get. It's often linked to a story or a TV show that I've already seen, or have seen at the time this dream comes out. But it's also based on two stories that I'm writing at the moment that were both inspired by dreams. I think I'm going the Mary Shelley look on how to come up with my ideologies for my stories. But this one always amazes me with the fact that I tend to see myself as a character who either shapeshifts, so turns into animals. This could also be linked to my love of animals, and how I'm always motivated to the method acting of animals. There's a story that I've written about a woman named Transient, who she is a shapeshifter. She can transform into any animal that she wants. And it's been huge fun exploring her biology and exploring why she would be, what weaknesses does she have, what boundaries she has. It's been huge fun to explore that route. Linked to that is another story I've been writing. This character called Diana, her name changes quite a lot, but at the moment it's stuck with Diana. I don't know why. She's someone who was born with dark powers. I think this comes from my fascination that two of the most mysterious parts of the universe is what's known as dark energy and dark matter. I think that kind of linked to the idea of what would happen if someone could channel the dark energy or the dark matter to create a power force. And that kind of expired into Diana. She's not evil, even though people do believe that she's evil. And her struggle with her identity, as well as whether or not she's accepted by the world, is something I've always explored. I think it's a great thing to explore someone who struggles, not only with their own identity, but also with the identity labelled by other people. Another one that I've got, sometimes this character is a ghost, but on more than one occasion, it's just someone who doesn't want to be seen. She disappears and reappears on numerous occasions. The kind of ideology I would have if it turned into a TV series is, at one point, they're talking to two people are talking to each other, usually a character that she hangs out with, and you see that she's not there. And then in the next camera shot, as one of the people is walking away, she suddenly appeared again, either listening in or standing next to the person she was previously talking to. It's a kind of thing I would like to explore, particularly someone like me who, I wasn't very popular at school, so I tend to be quite invisible unless someone wanted to bully me. So I think most of my stories where I imagine someone with powers who have identity crisis or invisibility or shapeshifting has either been based on a passion that I have had, or based on a persona of what I felt like as a child. It's been hard, and I think my dreams kind of link into that. I'd love to have a dream where I wake up and it inspires me to do something. I think that's why I started turning it into a writing exercise. But at the moment, motivation has been a problem, so that's something I need to beat. And maybe one day I will. But until then, another year, another ideology, another challenge complete. So hopefully see you guys again soon. Stay safe, stay well, keep the magic in your fingertips. Comment on what kind of weird dreams or goals that you have, particularly for 2023. In the meantime, stay safe, stay well, keep the magic in your fingertips, and I'll see you again real soon. Bye for now.